40 years of public radio jazz and blues, KSDS San Diego, KSDS HD1, and Jazz88.org. This is the new jazz thing on Jazz 88.3. My name is Vince Outlaw. Irving Flores has a new disc out. It's entitled Danzon Jazz Trio. He's part of the Gilbert Castellanos New Latin Jazz Quintet and appears regularly at the Wednesday Jazz Jam here in San Diego. But he is so much more than that. Recuerdos, his original music CD from 2010, was nominated for the Best World Album at the 2010 San Diego Music Awards, features original compositions, and is a tribute to Flores' musical roots. In 2012, Irving was awarded the Jim Croce Music Award and the Piano Forte Award from California Music Studios. He was featured in the stage play The Federal Jazz Project and on the soundtrack which just won the 2013 San Diego Music Award Jazz Album of the Year. Tonight, we're listening to music from Danzon Jazz Trio and chatting with Irving Flores on the new jazz thing, Jazz 88.3. We'll just do a little intro here.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Jazz 88.3, and that's music from Irving Flores and the new disc Danzon Jazz Trio. Joining us this evening on the new jazz thing is Irving Flores. Irving, welcome to the new jazz thing.
Hi, Vince. I want to send a cordial greeting to the public listener of Jazz 88 and all the jazz fans in San Diego, city that I really is in my heart and love for many reasons.
Well, so we really appreciate your love that you're giving us, and it's fantastic to have you here in the Jazz 88 studios and here in San Diego.
Thank you very much for your invitation. I'm so glad for that, and that's a lot of meaning for me.
Well, so let's talk about your new disc, Danzon Jazz Trio. Let's start with the core of the jazz trio that you're playing with. Who are your collaborators on this disc?
Well, it's very important mention it about two young guys who's really I trust in Ivana Wansinski and Fernando Gomez. Both guys started working with my music since 5 years ago. So I started like private lessons, and well, I talked with these guys uh, uh, about how important it is to have some players available. You know, sometimes everyone is busy.
Mm-hmm.
So I started preparing both Ivana and Fernando. And well, when I had the opportunity, born the idea first to do a simple demo. So it's when thanks God, Thomas Anderson appeared in this project,
Mm-hmm.
and he was so interesting to do an album together with another people who's is really important. So it was Thomas Anderson and Joe Amberhead.
Mm-hmm. So
So
they were very important for you to be able to do this. But you were working with Ivana and Fernando for many years
Yeah.
to kind of get them acclimated to your music
Yeah.
and familiar with your music and be
Definitely.
ready when the time was right to be able to record.
Exactly.
And so the music on this disc, is this music that you wrote specifically for this disc, or was this music that you had been writing throughout your career?
Well, I want to mention that Irving Flores Danzon Jazz Trio, it is not a band project. It's my lifelong project since 1986 when I started composing my original stuff, you know. So I trust in my composition. Unfortunately, in Mexico, it was not easier to record into an album,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely, well, it was a little bit difficult because my identity on my music is all the essence of my life, the influence from Cuba that arrived to Veracruz, Mexico, and the Gulf of Mexico.
Which is where you're from.
Exactly, where I'm born, and I grew up in the north of Mexico, in Tampico, Tamaulipas. That I'm so proud of that because it was Tampico is the place where I received the American influence. You know, all the greatest composers. When my dad was traveling with a famous orchestra, Orchestra Tampico, in jazz festivals in the 60s.
Mm-hmm. So this is a work of yours that you've been thinking of and trying to put together, even if it was only in your head and in your soul, for many years.
Many years, and of course, part of the story of this album, my composition, is what is happening in the last 10 years in San Diego.
Mm.
You know, San Diego, Bolero in San Diego, it was a composition inspired in a New Year Eve when I was driving from North County after a gig, and at midnight I saw the beauty of the fireworks, and I stopped in the middle of the freeway, and is when come through the composition.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, I in just a few minutes we'll play a little bit of that tune, and I wanted to talk. So then, how does this set of music differ from your 2010 disc Recuerdos, which was which sounds somewhat similar as a tribute to your roots?
Yeah.
How do these two releases differ?
Well, the difference is the first one, the last one. It was a piano solo record.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
is where I was trying to show all my skills and just my truly composition. But in Recuerdos exist part of my compositions are danzón rhythm So that is the main of my influence in through my life.
So Irving, did you, when you were putting together this music with Ivana and Fernando, were you also sharing with them stories of your life?
The-